morning, all you beautiful people out there. My name is Chrissy, and I'm going to be giving you a prediction reading for the 17th of August. Now, if you are new and you've just tapped on my channel, I talk a lot about current global energies. I also focus a lot on the Great Awakening process. I do my readings on specific days, and I give you the dates just so you can see when I did them. But they do carry forward into the future, so anything I pretty much say is for the future, but things can also shift as well. As we know, along timelines, things can change a lot. So these are just predictions for the current moment. So I will close my eyes, we'll get started, and we'll just see what comes up. I'm still getting it. There's the collapsing of the narrative. The narrative is starting to collapse, and that's what we want. We need this reset agenda narrative to collapse. It's happening. They're showing me that, well, they never really had a foundation. I often talk about their agenda never had a foundation, but there's this rumbling beneath the surface now, and it's making their elite buildings very, very unstable. I've been saying this for probably a month now. It's like someone's pulled that carpet from underneath, and it's now causing their buildings to shake. So we know the narrative is very shaky at the moment. Hang on a sec, let's see what else we get. Because people are seeing what's going on. People are seeing what's going on. They know now. The herd of cattle now know. I'm telling you, here in Australia, they know. They've been lied to by ScoMo, who was our parliamentary leader before Albo, who just got voted in. He'd been lying to everybody, and it's on mainstream media. I need you guys to know that. Yes, mainstream media. And we know they're probably lying because they're distracting us from something else. But it's just the fact that they're letting people know they've been lied to is so brilliant. This is just here in Australia. He, behind the scenes, our Prime Minister had taken on 5 ministerial roles. One was resources, health, finance. Oh, and there was 2 others as well. Oh, I can't remember what they were. Health Minister was another one. There was something else too. So he, without the actual ministers in those areas knowing, he took over the roles and ticked everything off. Resources, yes, ticked something off about gas and got things through. And he worked with a guy called Greg Hunt, who is a global leader who works with Klaus Schwab. He's actually resigned now because he would have got his big payout. So the corruption, it's coming out, and people don't like it. They're seeing it. Oh my God, it's like a miracle. When anything comes out, it's like a miracle. When anything's exposed. So people know we weren't lying. Well, here in Australia anyway, they know we weren't lying. The conspiracies are coming true. Because we kept telling them, you're being lied to, but no one listens, do they? I'm sure this is going to happen soon where you guys are living. Let me see where else we go with this today. I'm getting for some reason that like childcare is going to become a thing of the past. Now this is interesting, isn't it? Hang on, let's see what we get with this. It's going to be a different setup. The childcare is going to be a different setup. Oh yeah, that would be right. They're going to start to turn childcare into more early schooling. So I feel like it's going to be more like preschool brought forward. So, oh yeah, because they don't want anyone being free and playing and having fun, do they? They want to indoctrinate even the kids right from young. You don't want to, gosh, preschool was so fun. You just did pretty much nothing but finger painting all day and play in the playground. Well, they're thinking of changing that structure and getting kids indoctrinated, I'm guessing, earlier. So they're wanting to get it more structured system. This is about, I think you could say pretty much long day care, childcare. They're thinking about these things, making that a more structured like schooling system. So it's like a junior school before school. Oh God, this is just getting crazy now, isn't it? Anyway, they're just thoughts at the moment. They haven't actually implemented that on paper. I hope that's not in Klaus's reset number 2, but I haven't, that hasn't come to fruition yet. These are just some of their thoughts of how they're going to expand the big agenda and start getting to kids younger and younger, because as we all know here on my channel, you can really impact children. For example, I have an adopted child, and I got her when she was 2. This is just an example. And she's just so strong-willed, and those first 2 years had a massive impact on her. She's a teenager now, so say no more. I know you guys understand. And you just sort of realise how important those first 2 years of their life are. It really sets up a great structure. So I do feel like these government leaders and that are starting to look, this is long term. This is not going to happen like overnight. So don't panic if you've got your kid in childcare out there. But they're wanting to take it back to the younger schooling years now, and have like this junior school before school. Oh, it's just nuts, isn't it? Oh, control. It doesn't mean it's going to come to fruition, though. That's just their plans and their thoughts on paper. And we know here on my channel, a lot of their things sound all very wonderful on paper, but when you present them to the people, they rise up and they fight against it because they forget to get us to tick off the approval. So I'm getting they've got this kind of thought process around having this junior school to push out all their wonderful ideas. Oh, God, it's just ridiculous, isn't it? Oh, my God, next thing they'll be trying to educate babies in the mother's womb. It wouldn't surprise me. Oh, God, they'll be playing music and everything. Oh, God. Oh, don't even go there. Okay, let's move on. We'll see what else we get today. Oh, yesterday I talked about Mexico, and is it the USA? There's this border situation going on at the moment. It's come up yesterday, which is unusual. I don't normally get that, but it's shown me that the actual big cartel bosses are actually running the border. So I don't think, and we know that the police force and all that, or border security, whoever they are, they do get a lot of hush money, but I definitely feel like the big bosses of the cartel actually run the border. No surprises there. No one's surprised about that if you're living on the USA Mexican border. I do feel like they sort of run the border, so it's kind of what the cartel says goes. And like I said yesterday, they're making out they're getting they've got tighter restrictions and all that and heavier fines, but it's just a deterrent, really. It's not that they're really implementing it so much. It's more just to deter people. I did watch a video, actually. My husband and I were talking about that last night when I was telling him about the Mexico coming up. And I'd forgotten, I watched a video, and he did too, about the people in the USA were starting to shop in Mexico, I think it was, because it was far cheaper for fuel, petrol. Everyone was going over there. So maybe it's something to do with that. I'm not sure. It might be and it might not be. But people couldn't even afford to buy groceries and fuel in America because it was just so dear. And we're going to see more and more of this kind of thing happening as well. People going to the next suburb or state to get their food and their petrol. Honestly, this world has just gone mad, hasn't it? It's just, how did it get here? It's just nuts. So I'm getting that it's actually the cartel bosses pretty much that run the actual border. Oh, well, I guess someone's got to run it. They're pretty organised, aren't they, when you think about it? They want to be able to get their goodies through. So I do feel like they have a lot of power over the police and border security. But they all work together. It's not a bad thing. We know it's going to go on anyway. But they sort of do work together to keep everything calm and under control. And it does seem to work okay over there. So I'm definitely getting that really the cartel are the bosses of the border. Let's see what else we get today. I'm getting, this is globally, I'm getting that more independent people want to run for government. We had this happen in Australia recently. I'm sure in Canada you have, in different places, Britain, and more little people are wanting to get into government. That's basically the message that I'm getting. Now, a lot of people tried that here in Melbourne. And in different states, we've been having that happen. There's a lot more independents standing up. But of course, they don't seem to get voted in, which is a little suspicious because we know a lot of freedom fighters and people standing up against tyranny and the government stood up and voted for independence. But I would say we probably didn't get very many, and we got a couple, I think. But unfortunately, all they do on TV is push the two main leaders. This is here in Australia anyway. I'm sure it's the same where you guys are. And they just push the Greens. And the Greens, as we know, aren't there about the greenery and saving the planet. Well, they pretend they are. But it's all power and money again. But all the young people fall for it. So the Greens got like heaps of seats here in Australia. But I'm sure you guys are going through the same sort of thing. So that's kind of an example. There's now a lot more independent people trying to get in to have this voice in Parliament in the, like, you know, to represent the people. But it's very challenging at the moment. There's a lot of knockbacks, and it's almost unheard of, really, for many independents to get in. But I do feel like a lot more people are sort of putting their hand up, which is pretty brave, to be honest, putting their hand up to try and improve their government. And this is globally. But, you know, as we know, it's all rigged. I'm sure you guys would say the same thing out there. I mean, look at Biden. I mean, we really, like, anyway, we won't even go down that road today. Okay, let's see what else comes up. But yes, there's a lot more independent people even fighting for like the smaller seats, like in the local towns and local, I don't know what you call them, regions. There's a lot more independents coming through, and that's a good thing. We need that to happen, even if it sort of takes time for that to sort of really happen. The fact that people are putting their hand up and starting to do it, we have to take that as a really positive thing moving forward, that can create change if there's enough of them, because everything has to pretty much go to the vote when it comes to Parliament. So up to now, none of us have had much say, so to get any independence in there would be really good, because it also keeps everybody in the loop as well of the truths. Well, truths, that's an interesting word, connected to Parliament and our government leaders, isn't it? Doesn't really fit and match. All right, let's see where else we go. They're showing me visuals of somebody like swimming in a pool and doing lengths of this pool, but they're doing like, what do you call it? They're doing like a long distance swim. So they're up and back and up and back and up and back. And they're getting worn out. This could be the people waking up. Because that's what it is. They've got that, is it black line fever? What do they call it when people are getting, they're going up and down the pool and all they're looking at is the black line? I feel like that's what these people are getting. They need to come up for air. They're completely wrecked. They feel like, this is the people waking up, they feel like they're going a bit crazy. I'm sure they call it like black line fever or something, don't they? All they've done is had their head down for 3 years and they're swimming and looking at the black line, and then they're just turning again at the other end and coming all the way back and doing it all again, and turning, coming all the way back and doing it all again. And they want to get out of the pool. And that's the image I'm getting today. These people waking up, and there's a hell of a lot of them. There's a hell of a lot of them. The guides keep saying there's heaps of them. They want to get out of the pool, and they want to dry off, get the towel, and get out of there. And that's the image I'm getting for these people waking up. They're just tired of this repetitive swimming marathon, you could call it, because it is. It's going on and on. We know there's no end in sight. If they're building Moderna factories here and in Canada, oh yeah, well, that's not really like the end, is it? It's like just the beginning, and they know it now. So they're going to have to get out of the pool. They're going to be like that castaway, find the strength, stand up and climb out of the pool. And that's what I'm getting for these people waking up. They're just tired of that, following that black line, which is pretty much the road to nowhere that we talked about the other day. Just let me see if there's something to close with today. They're just showing me us, and they're showing me, this is you guys watching my channel, we've got to remain really stable. So they're showing me like our hands on our hips, and it's that great stability. When you think of somebody in that position, and I'm thinking of something like out of a Marvel movie like Thor or Iron Man, something like that, and they're standing with that really good stance and they're about to face off with their enemy. This is us looking at government probably. It just gives you greater stability because it makes your body mass look bigger. But not only that, it really grounds you, like your legs are apart and you have this stability that you can't be knocked over. Well, that's the image I'm getting for us now. We can't be knocked over anymore. And that's something that's really important for us to know, because I know in the back of our minds, and I talk about it as well, you kind of keep thinking, are they still going to come after us? The unjabbed, the mandated, the vaccine injured, are they still going to do things to ostracize? Like, it's still in the back of our mind, but their guides are saying it's not going to happen now, because it's proven this is not a pandemic of the unvaccinated anymore. And the thing is, there's more and more vaccine injuries coming out. People are talking about their stories every day. Mandates, we know now that was the biggest load of BS, because now the CDC is saying that unjabbed are equivalent now with the jabbed. There was really no difference, and they've come out and said that. So that information's out there. So these people that lost their jobs, horrific things that people have been through, lost their businesses as well, like many, many things. They're not coming after us now because we're very stable, because the proof is in the pudding. The proof is there. It's out there. People can see it. Just because they're in a mass psychosis, they can still see the truth. It's still there. Like, we're not here. We're all still on my channel. So I'm getting this really good stability that we've found our stable place. And I think you could say pretty much that we have. Anyone watching my channel here, leave your comments down below and let me know how you're feeling. But I think we have. We've opened up. We're not contracted. We're really grounded. I would say that we've probably felt the most grounded that we've probably felt for most of our life, a lot of us, because we have been through traumas, the dark night of the soul. Some of us might have been through depression. It's even the last 3 years, you might have just gone through things in that 3 years that just sort of woke you up to this whole charade and madness that's going on and being fed to us. Not to us, we closed our mouth, so they couldn't feed us the narrative. But I'm definitely getting that we're really lovely and stable now. Hang on, let's see if there's anything else. And they're saying, like, conditions have changed, like, even for us. Life has changed to a degree, but it's like we've transformed our life and we're doing other things. Like, apart from doing simple things, we're just doing other things. Like, once upon a time, you know, you get together with friends, you have barbecue, you do all these things, but now people aren't really doing that anymore. So it's like we've created that for ourselves in a different way. So we've gone back to our passions, our creativities, the things that we love, the things that give us joy. God, we get that many songs on here. I am working on a Chrissy's 80s music playlist for anyone that's interested as well. And so we have laughs and, you know, we cry together. We understand each other, and that's what's really important to us, and that's what gives us that stability, that we can, like, bounce off each other and keep each other propped up, because that's what gives you that kind of inner strength too, is to know that you're not alone. And that's what I'm going to leave you with today, that we have found our stable place. Yay! It's so good, isn't it? It's actually good to feel that way and not to feel contracted, full of anxiety, fears, all these things that we don't want to feel anymore. And when they do rise up, it's like we can find a way and manage our way through them by getting ourselves distracted and getting our mind onto other things. So look, I'll leave you with that today. Have a wonderful day, everybody. The sun's shining here. Hopefully there's no wind. I'll have a nice wintry day. You guys are coming into autumn. Autumn is absolutely beautiful. It's such a pretty time of the year. I do love autumn, so enjoy that, guys. The leaves will be falling off the trees for you lot over there soon. And I'll say goodbye to from Australia, and have a wonderful day. Bye, everybody. Don't forget to hit the like buttons and subscribe. Bye.